see here, please.
Yep, always great. Okay,
I love
so
that scene. So good.
federal agents have enough evidence to charge Hunter Biden with tax crimes and making a false statement while buying a gun. Bombshell report claims decision lies in the hands of the United States Attorney in Delaware.
Delaware.
Sources told the Washington Post there is sufficient evidence to charge him. The president's son dates back years. He is being probed for potential tax violations related to overseas work. Gun purchase statement included attestation not to be a drug addict. Hunter has written and spoken about his struggles with crack. Image on his infamous laptop appears to show him smoking a crack pipe. No charging decision has been made. U.S. Attorney in Delaware is overseeing the probe, and of course Hunter disclosed the probe and paid tax liability in 2020.
What do you think the chances are he would have been charged if he was Trump's son?
Oh,
Probably
150%?
Almost like 10
like
billion
more
percent.
more than 100%.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
1 million. Because,
1,000,000%.
they will continue to come after Trump, but they will never, ever come after Biden.
No, he's basically sacrilege. He's sacred.
Yep. So, yeah, I think the chances of the feds coming after Hunter, nil. Like, there's no way that the White House and the Democrats would allow them to do that.
Well, the interesting thing here is that if you look at like how the DOJ the Department of Justice has been acting over the last year and a half, okay, since Biden took over, you see them going after teachers at school boards, actually calling them domestic terrorists and making big, huge declarations about how dangerous they are, right? But they don't investigate a child that was raped in a bathroom by a transgender student. They won't investigate that. Then you see them using their power and going after pro-life activists, that dad that was actually attacked a couple of I think it was a week and a half ago, and the whole they sent 20 agents towards him. But when pro-life pregnancy care centers and all sorts of pro-life charities get firebombed, vandalized, and attacked by radicals, no response from the DOJ. You have the former president of the United States get totally blindsided with a raid on his house, but you don't actually have real criminals, real political criminals being held accountable. The DOJ, if anybody really believes that the DOJ has not been weaponized in the last couple of years, it's like you're not paying attention. It is super obvious how one-dimensional and how one-sided their approach has been. And so right now, the reason why you can have confidence that the chances that Hunter Biden is going to get charged are low is because Hunter Biden is part of that protected group. He's under protection of his of his dad, who is the president of the United States. And so because the DOJ is basically nothing more than an arm of the government, they're not going to go after their own people. But what the story does show is that there's plenty of evidence that in more than enough material and evidence to charge him. So it's obvious that they are intentionally not charging him on purpose because he's part of the elite class. So this is like a justice for thee but not for me kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty bad. What do you think, Stephen?
Yeah, it's truly saddening that even in light of the absolutely obscene crimes that Hunter has committed, and we all know that he's committed, and the bribery and extortion and corruption that he has been directly responsible for, he will never face any form of justice. And his father, who was, by all relevant accounts, equally responsible for the corruption and the bribery and the money laundering, will never face any form of consequence for this because they are the privileged elite, and the Democrats and the Bidens have control over the establishment Justice Department. And so, yeah, they'll always evade problems, but anybody on the right, whether it be Trump or a conservative here in Canada, if you step the tiniest bit out of line, they will nail you.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always trying to look for new ways to attack.
Yeah, and I think that the something that we should keep in mind here when it comes to Hunter Biden is that I know it's easy to try to to feel bad for him, and I mean for good reason. There's a lot of reasons that he is he's an addict. Okay, so that's pretty much obvious. He has a very severe problem with addiction to drugs, crack cocaine, to all sorts of drugs. He most likely underwent traumatic abuse when he was younger, possibly from his very skeevy dad, whom Hunter himself actually nicknamed Pedo Pete, I think it was.
Yep, Pedo Pete.
In like a phone record or something like that. So I'm like, and Ashley Biden, Biden's daughter, also outlined some very troubling,
really
and very
sketchy things
serious, very sick things going on, where she's basically having showers with her adult father while she's a little girl. It's like really, really gross stuff.
Messed up.
But that being said, Biden is still Hunter Biden is still suspected of doing all sorts of duplicitous deals with China and with Ukraine. There's a lot of corruption, and none of this is by any means secret. There's been emails and communications with the Chinese government where 10% for the big guy pretty much indicates that Joe Biden has probably been in some very troubling deals. And the fact that Biden abused his influence to try to cover for Hunter when he was part of Burisma, which is Burisma, that Ukrainian energy firm, I think it was. So there's a lot of really underhanded things going on, and it sounds like the Biden family is incredibly corrupt, and that Hunter Biden is very much involved in a lot of these skeevy business deals.
Yep.
So you have to take that into account, that as much as this guy is a victim, he's also a criminal in a lot of different ways. And in particular, I remember when I heard that he's having indecent relations with underage girls, particularly one of them I think was his cousin, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think his cousin, a female cousin, was apparently, there's allegations that he may have been, I don't know, sleeping around with an underage cousin or whatever. So this guy is by no means, we're not just looking to railroad him just because to get back at Biden. We want some kind of justice, because this guy is actually responsible for some very illegal and very immoral things.
Yep.
And the fact that he's got a problem should not be sufficient reason to just
keep him
overlook
from
whatever
justice.
he's done. Yeah. So let's hope for something good to come out of this.
Yep.
I really do hope that something good comes out of this.
Yep. Oh yeah. I hope that he gets charged, and that if the system was just, then Joseph Biden would be implicated, and that he would be immediately impeached. But that would, of course, lead us with Kamala. But they're both terrible.